Hello, very warm welcome. Lewis Hamilton wins his 8th Hungarian Grand Prix, total dominance, and Mercedes are just too good. They're literally on the levels of McLaren back in the day of dominance, Schumacher dominance. It's so easy for them, they're not even touched. Strange incident happened. Max crashes on the way to the grid, smashed the front wing in, and his mechanics did an amazing job to even get him in the race. Big mistake by Max, but he pulled it back in the race. Kvyat and Giovinazzi. Now you've got to say, F1, this campaign against racism is a fiasco because Kvyat didn't even put the racism shirt on. Giovinazzi, he had his cap on during the anthem, forgot his racism shirt. What a fiasco. I think I might have to do a separate video on that because when you look at football, Formula 1 is miles behind on the campaign against racism. Bottas gets a shocking start. Now I was expecting him to get a drive through. He eased forward, but it wasn't like even contested after that. Like, it was under investigation, but he edged forward, but he did lose so many places. We start on intermediates, we go to slicks. Kimi gets a 5-second penalty for being out of grid position. He's last on the grid, yet he was out of position. How is that possible? Latifi 5 seconds, unsafe release. They released him into Sainz and he gets a puncture. Latifi had about 510 pit stops. Rain planned but not arriving. Latifi spin, having a very tough race. Great qualifying but tough race. Albon under investigation for drying his grid spot before the race, so I feel he could be kicked out the race for that. I mean, that is a slam dunk penalty. Hamilton laps Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton pits for fresh tyres to get the fastest lap. He succeeds. Mercedes are too strong. It's Ferrari, it's McLaren, Senna and Prost dominance. They are so much quicker than the rest of the field. Lewis Hamilton wins. Dominant. Closing in on Michael Schumacher's all-time win record. 8 wins round Hungary. I mean, absolutely battered the field all weekend. Max P2, amazing recovery after crashing, coming to the grid. Broke his front wing. Held off Valtteri Bottas. It's been a tough weekend for Max, but second place. Valtteri Bottas put fresh tyres on, was closing Max down. Couldn't get him in the end. Lance Stroll P4. Now, is that Lance Stroll's best ever result in Formula 1? I want to say it is, but he's been phenomenal. Beat Perez all weekend, has a lot of haters out there. When he does good, let's praise him. Albon P5, will he keep that P5? I'm not too sure, because drying his grid slot before the race is a slam dunk penalty. Sebastian Vettel P6, beat Leclerc all weekend, fantastic by Seb. Perez P7, amazing qualifying, struggled big time in the race. Daniel Ricciardo, solid points in the Renault. Kevin Magnussen, now he is my driver of the day, because who would have thought Haas would have got points? He was the first, Haas were the first ones to go to dries, and it really paid off. Carlos Sainz P10, tough race for McLaren. Leclerc P11, went on the soft tyre, just had no grip all race. It was very strange. Danny Kvyat 12th, he wanted to come in for dries on the formation lap. They should have done the same tactic as Haas and it would have worked, but he didn't do it. 13th Lando Norris, passed Ocon late on. 14th Ocon, hardly saw him on the TV. 15th Grosjean, Magnussen did great but Grosjean fell backwards. 16th Kimi Räikkönen, got that ridiculous penalty. So he actually might finish behind Giovinazzi with that penalty. 17th Giovinazzi, 18th Russell, amazing qualifying, poor in the race. Latifi 19th and last. Pierre Gasly, what a tough weekend he's had. Issue with his power unit all weekend. Couldn't do Q3. Engine goes bang in the race. He hasn't had much luck, Gasly. Fastest lap, Lewis Hamilton. Race rating, I'll give it 5 out of 10. It was a good race. It wasn't a classic. It was good at the start when we had intermediates to dries. That was exciting. But Mercedes are just too good. They're too good. They are drivers' champions. They're world champions already after race 3. It's just a matter of who wins the drivers. and judging on the last 2 races, it's going to be another Hamilton walkover. Driver of the day, I would give it Kevin Magnussen. Now you could give it Hamilton, pole, race win, dominates. Max, after smashing his wing off, coming back. Stroll, I believe that's his best finish in Formula 1. Oh no, he got a podium, didn't he, at Baku? So it's not his best finish in Formula 1. But amazing by Stroll. Hungary race reaction, no footage. Hamilton dominates, 8 wins at Hungary. Great comeback by Max. And Bottas fills the podium. We've got a week off now. We go to Silverstone. Back-to-back Silverstones. But yeah, that is the race reaction done. Join me for driver ratings for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hamilton dominates again. Get in there, Lewis.